for tuning in. This is RadioTubeTV.com, and I'm your host, DJ Harmony. And today we're going to talk a little bit about what's been going down between Lil' Kim and Nicki Minaj for years. You know, there's been beef going on for years. And I just want to go ahead and speak on that because there's a lot of people that are misguided on what's really happening. It's not that, oh my gosh, they're jealous because Nicki Minaj is the new thing and they're the old thing, and oh, they're just jealous because she's young, getting her money. That's not even the case. I'm going to go ahead and talk about what's been going down, and you can make your own decision on what you think really happened between Lil' Kim and Nicki Minaj, as well as many other people that feel the same way as Lil' Kim. So, at this time, currently, I'm going to go ahead and give you the ear to the street to what happened to that. That's what this show is actually about. We do go ahead and talk about rumors. Some of the rumors are kind of true. Some of them probably a little fabricated because, you know, it's coming from a third party. I don't claim to know, any of these women directly. This is just information that's been, out there for years. Also, there are a lot of people that are under the impression that, a lot of people just create videos so that they can just have something to talk about. But in this case, we only create videos based off of information that we hear more than a couple times and stuff that just seems a little, in our case, and when we look at it, seems to be true. So what happened between Lil' Kim and Nicki Minaj is coming up next. And I just hope that you listen to this information and you weigh your own decision on it. Don't listen to me, weigh your own decision. So at this time currently, I'm DJ Harmony. I'm the host of the show. I want to give a shout out to the Wave Game for dropping us a comment. If you are an artist and you want to go ahead and get your music heard, please go ahead and drop a comment and leave a link below the video. Otherwise, if you're a female rapper out there, we'd love to hear your stuff and we'd like to feature you on our station. We will be doing the Musician's Reporter, which is a separate show where we review music and also give out tips for artists. So I want you to tune into that. That'll be coming very soon. The announcement will be coming very, very soon. So at this time currently, I feel like in this case, I'm going to go ahead and speak on it because it's been long overdue that we do need to get the truth out there. But a lot of people that listen to Hot 97 already know this. So if you already know about this information, just go ahead and exit left. You don't have to stay. This is, some people do know, some people don't, so that's what we came here to do. Now, there was years ago, Lil' Kim was working on her comeback album, and apparently at the time she's working with Baby Birdman, aka The Thief. And at this time currently, things have changed because she's still doing her thing. Just a couple months ago, Mayweather threw some money, made it rain at one of her concerts when she was doing the song Get Money. And, it's just interesting. So let's just talk about this first before we go ahead and just give all the information about it. Sometimes when people do things, they want to distance themselves from that person. They don't want to be like, okay, I don't want to be like Lil' Kim's mentor, her protege. I want to be my own person. So I think that's where Nicki's coming from. She doesn't want to seem like she's under any female. She wants to make it in the game all on her own. And I have nothing against Nicki Minaj, nor do I have anything against Lil' Kim or anybody. But because I'm reporting the information, I have to be impartial and not just definitely not going to, sit here and be on one side or the other. So you will hear mixed opinion about the situation. So let's go ahead and, talk about it. So apparently, at the time, Nicki Minaj didn't look like she does today. She used to have no curves, no ass, and no titties. Let's just be honest. That's what it was. And, same thing for Lil' Kim. They're all the same. In that case, they both got some work done. At first, Lil' Kim didn't get any work done. And then she did. And I really wish she didn't. So I'm just going to say that because she was beautiful before that. But she's still beautiful. Maybe she's changed a little bit, but I think she's still beautiful. So I just want to say that before I go any further because I don't want to put it out there like, I'm hating on Lil' Kim or Nicki Minaj. If you feel like you want to get work done and that's what you want to do, you can do whatever you want with your money. That's what you do. You're happy. Everybody else is happy. Whatever. But in this case, there's been more work done on Lil' Kim than on Nicki Minaj for some people because Lil' Kim's face completely changed. Nicki Minaj's face somewhat changed. She still looks the same, sort of, just a little bit, enhanced, a little bit better. And I'm not saying either one of them look better than the other. I think both of them are beautiful black women, and I would love for them both to be on a record together, but unfortunately that's ended years ago. So let's talk about it. At this time, currently, there has been a lot of talk about Raving Mob versus Nicki Minaj, but what people don't realize is because she's not paying homage to Little Kim and acting as if she's just made up this whole rap game all on her own, and when she saw Lauryn Hill, she bowed down to her, whereas when she's talking about Little Kim, she always has something like kind of slick to say. So is it that she's jealous of Little Kim, or she's distancing herself from her based on past events? So we'll talk about that right now. So what happened years ago was Little Kim was getting ready to put her album out. She was working with Baby, and at the time she trusted in Baby, and all of her music was left with Cash Money. I don't know if she was going over to them because of what's been going down with what was going down at that time with Puff Daddy and everything that went down with Biggie, and everybody pretty much say that he has like a bad boy curse just like Death Row. So that's another story we'll talk about another day. But for right now, let's go ahead and talk about why this may have been going on. So, what happened allegedly from Little Kim's mouth was that, and this was on the Hot 97 interview. I will have the interview in the end screen of this video, so you will be able to click off that and listen to it on your own. I mean, this is not the only interview she had, but she pretty much put it out there that she had her own style, had her own look, and Nicki Minaj stole that and came out with a record of her own. And just pretty much acted as if nothing ever happened. And I think really most of all, I think Little Kim's looking for an apology. Like, maybe not, she's not looking for an apology. Maybe she's just like, fuck you, bitch. You stole my shit. I don't like you. And I would probably be on the same level as her as well if I felt like somebody just completely caught my style, which they have. They've done it before, to many artists, along with other people that are not so known in the world. And if you have something you created, then you should definitely copyright it before anyone hears it. So that's just a tip for all those artists listening right now, in case you are an independent artist. This is a lesson learned. Never show your good shit to anybody, because they will steal it and take it for themselves or for someone else that they're working with. And that's exactly what Baby did. So after the record was actually cut, he didn't want to hear from her no more. And from my understanding, the music never came out, but the Nicki Minaj came out. And that's why Little Kim has beef with Nicki Minaj, because she just took it and ran with it and pretty much made her own career off of someone else's ideas. And that's not the only time that that's happened before, There's been many artists that have been done like that. And also Safari was one of her, was definitely one of her guys that she's with for the longest time. And he even said that he goes for Nicki Minaj, and that she wouldn't be where she was today if it wasn't for him. Another pissed off person that's come forward and said something about her. So this is the second person that said the same thing. Now, if we hear third person come out, which if I don't know about it, then I can't talk about it. But if I hear another person come out, then we all know that this must mean it's a character flaw that a lot of artists do have. Nicki Minaj isn't the only one that's, fell victim to that. Drake as well. There's been numerous people, Party Next Door, not to mention Kid Cudi, and a few other people have come out and talked about Drake being a culture vulture, and that he's just stealing, other people's music. He did take he took this old rap that another rapper had like long ago, and he took that and he was sued for it. So I forget his name, it escapes me, but whatever. He took that song and he got sued for that. And so when you have money, you can pay it back, so it doesn't matter. But the problem with everything is that everybody that has a problem with each other are connected to the same man, which is Baby. And unfortunately, like with him waving all the money, the fake ass, all this shit he was going to do for Nicki Minaj to make her successful, Nicki did what she thought was best for her. And no snub to Little Kim, but if you were a nobody in the game before anything happened and they told you, just act like Little Kim, channel her style, listen to her record, make up your own stuff, we'll help you make sure that you're successful. Why wouldn't that person take that and run with it? People will always do it. There's also people that will take a artist and sign them to their label. You give them, the artist, and they'll take that artist. The artist will turn on you, and they will always turn on you because they're gonna want to get their deal. Now, if it were me, if I'm gonna turn on someone, I'm gonna give them $5,000, a little bit of money to make sure that they are taken care of, to say, look, thank you for helping me out. But not everybody's like that. And so with this, Little Kim didn't get paid anything. I think maybe if she got paid something, she probably wouldn't even came out with the interview and said anything. But because they didn't pay her and because they played her, she ain't playing that, okay? So she went out there on TV. She is not afraid of Baby. I didn't hear him saying nothing about that. He was mad at Charlemagne. When Charlemagne just comes on the radio, interviews people, and people tell them what they tell him about Baby, and it's not their fault. It's not Charlemagne's fault. It's not Little Kim's fault that he did this to them. It's his fault. And I feel like people should blackball him in the industry. Like, don't work with him. I mean, there's a lot of other artists that will work for him, and then they're his next goon that wants to kill Lil Wayne or do whatever they want to do to the next artist. And that's just how it is with this music industry. It's a game that if you don't play it right, you will get played. It's like the Game of Thrones. And you just have to know that there's always somebody there that's going to try to take you and say, hey, look, I'm better, I'm a better rapper, and put themselves out there as if you never existed. And that's what happened with Little Kim. So I don't like this situation at all. I feel like Little Kim, unfortunately, because she's older, and once you hit a certain age in the music industry, they think that you're too old for it. They think if you're after you're 30 years old, you're too old. But that's not true because Jay-Z's still on TV doing his thizzle. So that can't be true either. So it's just interesting how people say that. And then I also want to say that it's interesting as well because there's a lot of shows like Empire that talk about how people just play people for, this industry to get themselves out there. People will do anything for money. And you shouldn't think just because someone's from another country or they're poor that they're going to be worse off than the next person that's trying to get theirs. There's been people like Black Rob that became famous under Bad Boy. He never came out with nothing after that. Faith Evans was a great artist, and she never came out with anything after that long stint of not doing anything, but she was still making her chips because she had, an established record. Stevie J, they had a dream team behind each artist. So for all those artists that think that, okay, this person's up there by themselves, Beyonce has a team. She has people that work for her, people that write for her, like Neo, and numerous other artists that write for her, as well as Rihanna. She doesn't write her own stuff. So we have to think about it in that sense, like you're only as hot as your last record, and if you can't come out with something hot, then bye-bye, you're not there anymore. And so it's just interesting now that when Nicki Minaj thought she was the only one and she was just going to run through this rap game like without any kind of competition, Remy Ma's coming back out with some stuff, Young Ma's coming out with, records all the time, mixtapes and different features that she's doing, and as well as being out in social media and very relevant. While she's playing with Meek Mill, there's other people out there working and doing their thing. So she needs to get back in the studio and basically put out a record that doesn't sound like Lil Wayne, that doesn't sound like Little Kim, because this last record with I think it's Ariana Grande, and she sounds like Little Kim. I mean, if she doesn't, please tell me she don't, but she sounds like, it's like I thought it was Little Kim on the record, okay? And so you just gotta you got to listen to what she's trying to do here, and also just take note that she did copper style, and if she lies and says it one more time, I think people should call her out and make a petition to quit lying, okay? Because it's just hard to say that you are not influenced by those people. I mean, even for me, I'm actually someone that used to be, in the rap game, like when it comes to freestyling, writing for other people, and there's a lot of people that have taken lyrics from sessions that I've had and taken them and put them on their hit record that's out playing right now. I can't divulge who that person is because they don't need to be told, what they've done. They know what they did. And they didn't make all that much money, but still, that's how it goes. I even have a record that's in Houston that's playing called Acting Up with Being on it. I did the whole thing, but then they don't even have my name on YouTube or anything like that. So I'm just a nameless person that's pretty much did the song and didn't even get any credit for it or any money for it. So there's a lot of people that play you, and you just have to be smart to this game. If you're an artist and you're a female, maybe you shouldn't work with gangsters and people like that if you're not, going to be protected. And in this case, Little Kim was not protected. And I just question who her management is. I would never have left my masters with Baby because he just got a history of not doing good business. So that's it for right now. I just want to go ahead and talk a little bit about what was going down between Nicki Minaj, Little Kim, why this is going on. And if you, definitely would like to join the conversation, we will be doing some new live streams that will be going on weekly. On Saturday at 12 a.m. I will be doing a live stream, and you can come talk to me if you missed the live stream. Then tune in the morning. But I'll be doing a late show. Ear to the Streets will be at night, just because there's a lot of news that comes out at night and information that we want to update ourselves on. As well as Musicians Reported will be out every Tuesday, so you can tune into that show, so you can hear the most up-to-date strategies and tips on how to put your music out there, as well as the top artists in each area, in each region, emerging artists, and interviews, and just much more. So thank you for tuning in to RadioTubeTV.com. We will be having some guest hosts on our show coming soon, so that we can talk about what's been going down in the music industry, independent game, and much more. Big ups to Skinny Joey and also Renegade Music. Big ups to Viz Dog, as well as many other artists that are to come to the station. Big ups to Rilo. He's one of the artists that are actually under the new record company Visionary Records, and it's going to be definitely one of those labels that you want to watch out for. We have a lot of music coming out on an independent partnership level, and it's going to be really great. So thank you for tuning in to RadioTubeTV.com. We'll be back in a few moments with some more updated news. And coming up next, we'll talk about Angela Yee and Gucci Mane, and people are calling her out on her stuff, so we'll be talking a little bit about that. If you have not tuned into the review about Remy Ma and Nicki Minaj's beef, then please go ahead and tune into that. Please like, subscribe, and come back for some updated news. And this is Ear to the Streets, and I'm DJ Harmony, and I appreciate you for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day, and be safe.